What's going on, guys? I'm back with the 77 K20. So decided we're going to pull the motor in the cab and take the motor out of that 78 and the cab off of that 78, put everything onto here. The wheels and tires that came on are going back on. I just had them on my Dodge, but transmission went out, so they're going back on the Chevy. A little flat tire. Really just kind of just took the hood off, starting to remove the exhaust. Still has manifolds on it. A little bit of a fucking dick. I'm used to working with headers. It's my first truck to have manifolds on it. Got the passenger side off, gonna pull the driver's side. Alright, so got the front clip pulled off, took the doors off, all the cab bolts are undone. We're just gonna kind of roll the cab over to the side and get it off. Also took the steering column out just because didn't want the shaft being in the way. After we get the cab off, gonna pull the motor off, pull off all the wiring that's left anywhere on it. We're gonna take the bed off. Probably not gonna be right away. It's probably gonna sit with the bed on it for a little bit. I'm gonna clean the frame up. Not sure if I'm just gonna paint it black or what. Just so it won't rust no more, or rust at all any. 2 days ago, when we were pulling the front clip off and everything, we pulled the cab off. I never recorded it. Towards the end, I started feeling real shitty. I'm getting a cold right now. I didn't do nothing yesterday. I laid in bed with body aches all day, but today, got the motor pulled on it. A little bit, we're going in through the bed. Take the bed off. About to pull this up to the shed. Once everything's stripped off of it, we're gonna clean the frame up. Clean everything up real good. Then we're gonna bring that 78. We're gonna bring it down. We're gonna move that cab a little bit and put it somewhere roughly right there. And we're gonna strip everything down, put the cab on here, put the 60 over motor in, and then we'll do the rest of the front clip and everything with the bed. So we got the motor pulled out of the 77. We got the 78 right there, ready for everything to be swapped over onto this frame. Just kind of cleaning everything up. Gonna wire wheel the frames, wire wheel the transmission and the transfer case. I got a chrome front bumper. I like the chrome on that truck, so I'm gonna take this black painted bumper off. I know I can strip it, but I got a perfectly good straight chrome bumper. I'm gonna do that before I put the body on. So gotta take this bed off and load all the trash out of it. It's cleaning up pretty good though. Got a brand new fuel tank in it. This one don't look super old either, but that one's definitely brand new. But got the front clip pulled off of this truck. Gonna go ahead and undo the motor mounts, transmission bracket, because we're gonna pull the tranny with it. I fucked up the pump in there. I didn't lock the torque converter whenever I put the transmission back in from putting in a new flywheel. As a rookie mistake on my, but I was wanting to do this swap to this full drive frame anyways. It just go ahead and give me the motivation to get it done with. This is where we're sitting with the 78 so far. Cab is unbolted. I gotta get this cab out of the way, and then I'll have a straight shot to that truck right there. Progress is coming along. I'm over this cold pretty much. I'm at the last leg of it. So I'm gonna get this cab off, get it onto that frame some point today. It's still early in the morning, so I got plenty of time for that. And hopefully, not sure if it's gonna happen, but I would really like to try and set the 350 on there today. And just kind of start just getting everything the way I want it. I'm not worried about switching the beds until everything's done with the cab on this truck, to where I can turn the key and I got a running truck
Then I'll take this cab off, or the bed off, take my other bed off, put that bed on here, and then run the wires for the taillights and shit up here, because they got all burned up and cut right here. They're burned up further up here, and we cut them back there. But I don't want to cut them and splice them. It's just much easier. I already got them unplugged up here. Just to run them back up the frame like they were. No big deal. Pretty excited. This is my first time really cab swapping, full drive swapping, anything like that. So I'm pretty impressed with myself with what I'm doing, you know, just in my yard with what I have. You want to know a reason to go front axle? Crooked. Crooked. Bushings completely sworn slapped the fuck out in there. This truck has had factory upper and lower ball joints. I did replace this side not too long ago. I had to cut all the rivets out of this one, but I mean, you can see it didn't really help much. The bushings aren't as bad on this side, but they're still fucking shot. They're old as fuck. Simple as that right there. Got a pallet jack under there with a sheet of plywood. In the back, got two 2x6s holding it up. In the front, it's just the pallet jack. I couldn't wedge any wood in there. It's already jacked up. One hand, I'm able to pull this cab no problem. This is a great way of moving a cab, I would say. I am pulling it uphill one-handed. Now, the only part where it gets tricky is the grass. But we're gonna lay the sheet of plywood right here. We're gonna back her right up next to her. And then we use the floor jack. I got some more wood out behind the shed. Stack it up, lift this side up a little bit just to get it high as we can, easy as possible. And then we'll go ahead and lift that motherfucker up here and put her on. So I stopped recording my progress on this 78 cab swap with motor swap. So a couple days ago, had the motor put in, the front clip, everything bolted up, and I knew the transmission had water in it, so I drained it and I filled it up with fluid. But to my knowledge at the time, I did not know water in the transmission can cause your clutches to dissolve. The water had been in there for a good couple weeks, probably 3 or 4 weeks. It's been sitting. I've owned it for probably about 2 or 3 of those weeks, and not sure exactly how long it sat like that before I bought it from the previous owner. Again, I only paid $600 for this truck. That's the cab that come on it. The front clip is behind that 87 right there. It's just kind of sitting on the ground back there. I did keep the cowl hood from it. My hood is pretty bad right here, like most of these older models. Like the 87 I have no issues with it, but it has a different style hood hinges that are a lot more effective at keeping this straight down than this truck does, but it's better than the other one. It's not perfect. Tomorrow I am gonna be pulling the dry shafts, transfer case, transmission out of this truck and ordering a rebuild kit. I've never personally taken a transmission apart, let alone rebuilt it, but you got to start somewhere. So turbo 350 four-wheel drive transmission don't seem like a bad start. I do have a second gen Dodge that has a two-wheel drive 47 RE that needs to be rebuilt. Not sure if that's something I'm going to touch or not, but right there is that turbo 350. Like I said, the motor's in there. Process of putting the motor in did break the old distributor. I did have a MSD distributor laying around that I got given. I was told it was brand new in the box, has just been sitting on the shelf for a long time. It's never been used. Not sure if that's true or not. It come with the MSD box. Whether if it was used or if it's really brand new or not, can't beat free. Really the only thing is left to do on the truck is put the exhaust up to the headers, which they are still on the old frame, sitting down there hanging. But there's no point in doing that because I got to pull the transfer case and transmission, and they would just be in my way, so there's no point in putting them on right now. We'll be recording pulling the transmission and transfer case tomorrow. Just kind of working on this whenever I have time to. That's why I haven't really been recording much of it. Whenever I started, I had time, but I'm just always busy. So I don't ever think to grab a camera and just record what I'm doing, record the progress on it. Once the truck is drivable, I got a lot of old interior stuff that was in the fire that needs to go to the landfill, be dropped off. There's some glass back there. The old radiator got all melted up, so we're gonna throw that in the scrap pile. Once this bed's empty, I'm gonna be setting it onto the 87 frame, or 87 truck, and we'll take that bed and set it on here, and then it'll be complete body. It's a rust bucket, but the patina is what matters. The wheels and tires that come on it are gonna go back on it. These are just to have around because I stole them at the time to put them on my Dodge, but the transmission went out about a week later, and the tires that were on the Dodge are bald, as you can see, and the back passenger one always went flat. It's actually sitting over there because I had to put a spare to get this one to move because that tire is completely no good. But yeah, that's the progress on it. This truck, the only reason why it was sitting to begin with is because the steering column needed to be rebuilt in it. I ordered everything I need, all the parts, the tools to take it apart with. I just haven't done it yet because I want the truck to be fully functional before I do that. I want that to be the very last thing I have to do. Did a very, very poor job on that full drive hole, but that's okay.